We're kicking off Love the Boot Week. First, we're going to talk about all the accomplishments we made this year and talk about the new study and what we have to focus on going forward to really clean up Louisiana. The quality of life, business, tourism, when you go in a state and it's clean, you get that warm and fuzzy feeling. And since COVID, we've really had to buckle down and clean up this state. It really got dirty after the hurricanes and after all the drive-throughs. That's all that was open. So we've got a big task ahead of us, but I'm real proud over the last year. We've gone from 30 to 40 groups clean up Louisiana. This year, over 360 groups around the state, everything from individual families to schools to universities to clubs and organizations. I see light at the end of the tunnel in really getting Louisiana clean.
While we're off to a really good start on the Keep Louisiana Beautiful initiatives that we really started in earnest about 18 months ago, we are just getting started, and there's so much more to do, and I'm encouraging people around the state to not wait for people to come and say, hey, this is what we need to do. Everybody knows litter's a problem. We can organize stuff at the local level through nonprofits, through schools, businesses, you name it, to go out and take advantage of the fourth Saturday of every month. That's what's been designated as the day that we should all really focus on keeping Louisiana beautiful, picking up the litter, but also making sure we're engaging our young people so that we don't have a continuation of what we've seen develop over the past couple of generations at least, and that is just a culture where we're really not paying attention to what we're doing, and people are out littering, and sometimes it's not intentional where somebody's walking down the sidewalk and just throwing a Coke can down or whatever, but we're not securing trash in the back of trucks when we're taking to the landfills. We have vehicles moving down the highways all the time and things are blowing out and so forth, and it really does take our state and doesn't allow us to present it in the best light possible for visitors and tourists, but the quality of life for people who live here is diminished as well. So we're encouraging people to do more, and there's a lot of initiatives around education and awareness. We want to know how long that litter has been on the ground, what the source of it is, how we can do a better job of preventing it from getting there in the first place. So we got a lot of work to do, but I will tell you, I am gratified that we're off to a really good start, and I want to thank the Lieutenant Governor, Ms. Russell, and everyone behind Keep Louisiana Beautiful, because it really is making a difference, but we have a long way to go.
In 61 parishes throughout Louisiana, we're having 500 cleanups. These are families, individuals, businesses, schools, local governments, all coming out and cleaning up for Louisiana. It's important that we remove litter, but it's just as important that we have programs and initiatives to end littering in the first place. But we know that in picking it up, we're investing in our community, we're making it clean and beautiful, so it adds to our quality of life.
We're so excited to be out today. We have a team of volunteers from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana supporting Keep Louisiana Beautiful, and we are, this week is Love the Boot Week, and we as a Blue Cross Blue Shield sponsor of Keep Louisiana Beautiful are here to support with cleanup, and we also support with financial contributions. So we have been a supporter of Keep Louisiana Beautiful for about 4 years now, and we're just thrilled to be out here today. We've got a lot of Blue Cross employees, and everybody's excited. It's a beautiful day, and we're looking for trash.
Tell us, what is your message to people after picking up trash here today?
Well, what we're trying to do is we're trying to raise awareness also. That's why we're out here in full force, to keep Louisiana beautiful. Please don't litter. Please, save your trash, throw it in a trash receptacle, but please don't litter Louisiana.
A whole lot of cigarette butts, a fair amount of plastic along the roads, little pieces of glass. I mean, it's just everywhere. Every couple steps you'll find patches of cigarettes that have clearly been there for a while, and we need to find better ways to keep Louisiana beautiful.
What goes through your mind as you walk and bend over and pick this stuff up? What message you'd like to say to the people that left that stuff there?
I hope going forward people will think twice. We'll find a trash receptacle. We'll throw it away the way that they need to, because mean, these are places that we can walk. My old house is a couple blocks from where we are right now, and this is a place that I rolled with my kids a stroller up and down this road. So I certainly hope we can leave the next generation, a much better place than where we found it.
I'm involved with this project as Miss Louisiana to really promote our state's culture and everything that we have to offer by keeping Louisiana beautiful. This is our home, and to live in a home, we want it to be clean and litter-free. And so, as Miss Louisiana, I'm excited to partner and be in this organization today to help anti-litter and pick up some trash later on today.
At the end of the day, this is my home. This is my area. So it's always important to make sure you take care of your area, clean it up, make sure you're going to get out of something what you put into it. So if you take care of something, which is picking up the trash, doing whatever you do to make your city better, you'll get paid dividends in return at the end of the day. You know, your community just being that much better. I'm sorry.
Welcome. I'm Susan Russell, Executive Director for Keep Louisiana Beautiful, and it's good to be with you today. Thank you for finding time in your busy schedules to be with us. Governor Edwards, Lieutenant Governor Nungesser, thank you for prioritizing this issue of litter. Y'all have brought awareness and a deeper conversation about how we solve the problem. Never have we had this level of commitment from our state's top leaders. We wanted to reconvene the Litter Abatement and Beautification Task Force to give you an update on our progress and what we have accomplished this past year. Last year, the state legislature appropriated funding specific for litter abatement to address the recommendations made by this task force. Together with the task force recommendations, with the governor and the lieutenant governor's support, and the additional funding, we've made great progress. We all know we have a long way to go, but we're on track. I now have the great pleasure of introducing the 56th governor of Louisiana, John Bel Edwards. Over the last 7 years, Governor Edwards has been guided by the motto, "Put Louisiana first." And that rings true for the work of highlighting the litter problem in Louisiana to bring about the needed change, because he understands that we must first clean up our state if we're truly going to put Louisiana first. Never since Governor Foster and First Lady Alice Foster have we had a governor that cared so much about cleaning up Louisiana. We know that your term will be coming to an end next year, so we want to thank you for everything you've done, and we can only hope that the next administration will feel as strongly about cleaning up Louisiana as you have. Thank you. Join me.
Thank you, Susan. Thank all of you for being here. I am very proud of the progress that we've already made, the leadership coming from Billy and the Lieutenant Governor's office, the whole Keep Louisiana Beautiful initiative. And I want to thank Susan for her leadership there. But really, it takes all of us in this room and then hundreds and hundreds and hundreds more all across our state. Because I know we all travel, we all have the ability to see what's happening, and while I have no doubt that we're making steady progress, there's still too much litter on our roadways and in our neighborhoods and so forth. But the initiatives are making a big difference, and I think we were able to get the legislature last year in 2022 to put up $4 million so that we actually had a funding source that was robust in order to kick off these initiatives, and great strides have been made. But the work can't stop now. We're really just now starting to see the fruit of some of our efforts, because Susan just shared with me, the survey came back. I mean, first of all, there's so many action items that we've identified that we need to do. But we're just now finding out what the litter looks like. You know, what is it composed of? Who is it that's primarily responsible? How is it that it's being discarded rather than properly thrown away? And it's happening in a multitude of ways, but we know more now than we've ever known, and so now we can fine-tune those strategies to attack the problem. But this is one of those issues, and I want to just caution everybody. There will never come a time when we'll be able to say mission accomplished. Because as soon as you do that and you stop educating young people, then they're going to revert to doing whatever it is that they were previously doing. And so this is never going to be mission accomplished, but we can have a tremendous impact that improves our quality of life, that makes us much better stewards of God's creation here, and then presents a much better picture to all the visitors and tourists coming to Louisiana, and that will result in more economic development. I mean, you just name it. Probably the single biggest effort that we've had anywhere in the state was out at the Bird Museum in Gordons, where I think it was about 10 acres overall that were cleaned up. Tons and tons of litter of all different types that had been accumulating for many, many years was picked up out there. And I think it demonstrated just how complex and far-reaching this problem is. But that site is now, and y'all remember we did a couple of press events out there to draw attention to it as an example of what we need to do to clean up our state, and in particular our waterways. There's another effort out there that I want to encourage everybody to pay attention to, and that is we've designated the fourth Saturday of each month as a day that we can focus on keeping Louisiana beautiful by picking up and properly discarding and throwing away the litter, and this is Love the Boot Day, the fourth Saturday of every month. And so whether you are a private individual who just wants to take charge of where you live, you go out to the street where your house is and you just pick up along your property line. Maybe you want to take the entire block. Maybe you want to do it where your business is. Maybe that's when you want to have your church group or your service organization, your business, whatever it is, to engage in a more robust effort around the Fourth Saturday Pledge Program. That would be very helpful. As Susan mentioned, early next year, January the 8th, I think, I'll be leaving office. We're going to continue to work this all the way through my term, and whoever the next governor will be, I will be making a personal appeal to him or her to continue this effort and to even ramp it up if that's what's in order at that time. So we're gonna do that. But the more success we can have, the more we can develop this whole initiative, I think we will create more momentum, and then it'll be impossible to turn it off, because people around the state, they want to see progress. And I encourage people, it's nice that we have an organized effort, that we're spending money, that we're doing surveys, and we're coming up with specific initiatives, but nobody needs to wait to be told that they can pick up litter when they see it. And one of the things that I so appreciated about my time in the Army, you weren't responsible for just what you put down. In fact, you better not put anything down. You were responsible if you walked past something and you didn't pick it up, no matter who put it down. Now, I don't think we can pass that law, but it's a great way to live. It's a great way to change mindsets, because you immediately see a much cleaner area, and it just improves everything about it. So, Billy, thank you so much for your leadership on this. I appreciate it. If you're in this room, it's because you're a leader also. And I'm just going to ask you, don't let your guard down. Let's redouble our efforts and make as much progress as we possibly can, and know that my office will be engaged in this effort. We actually have an official cleanup day this Thursday, and we will be once again at the Capitol Lake. But I can tell you it's a much cleaner body of water than it used to be, because we're actually capturing, I guess, if you will, much of the litter that used to, every time it would rain, all the litter in the ditches and in the gutters would somehow make its way, because it's a drainage system, make its way in the Capitol Lake. And now we have a way to gather that up, and so long as we service that site and just clean it regularly, I think we can stay on top of it. But that's the sort of thing we need to be doing all over the state. And local government, whether it's a city or a parish or whatever, you have the ability to do this in your neighborhood. But we have plenty of things out there that work. And so I'm excited about all of that. I'm looking forward to Thursday and the difference that we can make. I do hope you will forgive me if I leave after I speak. The legislature happens to be in session. My life is much more difficult when that happens, and I just have a pretty full agenda today. I do want to, I'm not going to call you out, but all of my cabinet members who are here today, you're here because your departments have a particular role to play in this effort. And so I thank you for what you're doing, and I encourage you to think outside the box. What more can we do? What more can we do? Because we all see the litter. There's still too much of it, but you are making a real difference. So thank you, and God bless.
I wanted to thank the governor for his commitment and putting the task force together and all his department heads. We could not do it without you. And to all of our corporate sponsors here, Susan will recognize you later. Once again, such an important part of this team. And I got to thank Susan, her team, and Rick Moore, who lives it every day in cleaning up Louisiana, working with Susan and myself to all the things we're working on. I wanted to mention just a little bit of the progress we've made. And as the governor said, we've got a long way still to go. But just this year, we've given out over $600,000 in trash receptacles in 40 parishes, over $152,000 in beautification grants in 24 parishes. And our sheriffs, we went out and asked our sheriffs, what do you need to help us clean up your parish? And everything from giving them a van so they can take work-release prisoners out to the site, to overtime so their deputies can go out and watch those crews. But we want to customize those grants in every area to where they're making a difference. I also want to recognize the effort of Red Stick Media. They put a great campaign together, and these are just some of the billboards and notifications that are going out, and we're encouraging everyone on your site to put some kind of message about litter, so we can continue to remind people how important it is. I do see us making see light at the end of the tunnel as we continue to clean up, and more people are getting involved. I think when we started this a couple years ago, Susan, we had 30 to 40 groups around the state cleaning up. I think as of today, 300 and something groups in 500 groups in 61 parishes. And I don't know about you, but every day somebody sends me a before and after picture of them cleaning up some part of Louisiana, and it makes me proud. I'm going to share with you a couple of the commercials. This first commercial just won an award. I think it's because the governor's good looks in it. But take a look.
It's a little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. It's a little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. It's a little light of mine.
Louisiana, it's time to put the paradise
Back in our sportsman's paradise
Visit letlouisianashine.org
to keep Louisiana beautiful.
Let it shine.
So this next commercial we're rolling out, and it kind of hits each parish, and we're going to continue to do these, covering all the state with individual things everyone can do to clean up their area of the state. Take a look.
Hey, Louisiana, how are you stopping litter?
In Terrebonne Parish, we put our trash in a bag.
And never out the window.
In Bienville, we bag it, tie it, and put a lid on it.
We keep litter out of our lakes in Lafayette.
And in Calcasieu Parish, we keep our truck beds clean.
And we secure our loads.
We need every person in every parish to stop littering and let Louisiana shine.
Let it shine.
So y'all can share these on social media and help us get them out and keep it in front of everybody as we continue to clean up. I also, too, want to thank the DARE program. We partnered with the DARE program. We're providing 50,000 bags for them to give out when they're teaching kids about drugs, to also teach kids in school about litter. Because if we can change the mindset with these kids, one day hopefully we won't have to spend the millions of dollars to clean up litter. Now, the governor mentioned, or Susan mentioned last week, I went out and cleaned up a certain part of the highway. And what I did is as Lieutenant Governor, I look at other states in my job and see what I can do different or better that they're doing, and I kind of steal those ideas for tourism. Well, I looked at the state of Florida, which has pretty clean highways, and I met with the Lieutenant Governor, and they use these carts to zip down the highway with a garbage can mounted on the front, picking up the garbage. Well, we don't use them in Louisiana. And way back when I met with Sean, he said, well, I don't know if it's safe. It could be dangerous. So I wanted to know if it really saved us time or money. So we took a cart last Friday down 2 miles of the interstate, picking up trash. And be careful what you commit to do. And then I walked back 2 miles. I barely made it. We picked up a ton of trash, but it was 40 minutes going down, about a third of the time it took to walk it. So hopefully we can use this along with the other information we gathered from the study and come up with a better way, or maybe separating the grass cutting from picking up trash, and maybe using these carts in some of the areas, working with DOTD. But we're looking for new ideas, new thoughts, and that's what I'm really encouraged about. Every day, someone comes up with a new idea, a new area we can clean up and really make a difference. One last thing I will ask you is when you go into a shopping center or to a strip mall where you do business, ask them to put the garbage cans back in the parking lots and empty them. I don't know if y'all eat at Cracker Barrel, but they have garbage cans all over their parking lot and you never see any trash. I've been writing letters to Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, asking them all, put the garbage cans in the parking lots, secure them to a light post so they don't blow over, and empty them. If we can encourage all these businesses to put garbage cans back in the parking lot and keep their parking lot clean, that will help a great deal in that litter blowing onto the highway. So I appreciate every one of you being here and continuing. Many of you have been here from the very beginning, and it really means the world to me of your commitment to clean up Louisiana. And with that, I'm going to bring up the champion who's been working on this for many, many years and truly has a love and passion for Keep Louisiana Beautiful, Susan Russell.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. So I'm going to go ahead and give y'all an update on some of the initiatives we have embarked on this last year. So in addition to the $1.5 million in grants that the Lieutenant Governor mentioned, we've developed programs aimed to engage citizens and businesses, event organizers, libraries, and educators. So the first program that I'm going to talk about is called Clean Biz Partnership. And this program is designed to address Recommendation 7 to expand litter prevention and removal, specifically the initiative aimed at getting businesses involved. So we created this program targeting our businesses. We worked with Lisa Johnson, who's a task force member, Bossier Chamber President and past president for the Louisiana Chamber of Commerce executives. And together we developed this program to market to chambers to get them to recruit their members to participate. And we developed this program in partnership with the chambers because they already have the relationships and the influence in the business community, and they have a statewide reach. So what we're asking businesses to do when they become a part of this program is really pretty simple. 5 simple things. Remove litter from your parking bays daily. Keep your dumpster area clean of litter and debris. Keep your dumpster lid closed. Have trash receptacles at your storefront or at your transition points. Maintain your green space and landscaping. and create a culture of cleanliness for your employees. If we can get businesses in the habit of doing these 5 simple things collectively, it'll have a huge, huge impact. So we just rolled out this program, and we are pleased that we have 18 chambers already on board. So we want to make note and thank. We have people in this room from all these different parts, so thank you for being a part. If your chamber's not on here, please get with me after, and let's do a little contacting. The next program that I want to mention addresses, again, recommendation 7, expand litter prevention and removal. Specifically, the initiative aimed at increasing citizen, littered litter removal activities. So we developed a library litter supply checkout program. It's called Get Down and Clean Up. And the idea is that it empowers individuals, families, and small groups such as Scouts to, when they see litter, to do something about it. We don't believe that you should have to wait for someone else to organize a community event, similar to what the Lieutenant Governor was saying, right? We want people to start to just take the initiative to clean up their neighborhoods. So using your library card, you can go into a participating library and check out litter grabbers and safety vests and bags and instruction sheets and safety tips. You can clean your area. Use the QR code, scan it, and tell us what you did, so report back to us, and then turn your supplies back into the library. And so the Louisiana State Library helped us with this initiative, helped us reach and market this to the over 300 local libraries. And we are happy to have a list up here of 71 libraries in 30 parishes that have signed up so far. Our next program addresses recommendation 3, build knowledge through training and education. Specifically, the initiative to create a guide to address waste and recycling at events. And so we worked in collaboration with the French Quarter Fest, Inc. in producing an outdoor best practices guide for waste management and litter prevention. When this guide is completed later this month, it will help event organizers of parades and Mardi Gras crews, festivals, outdoor concerts, determine how many receptacles they need, where they should be placed, how to divert waste from the landfill by adopting a variety of waste reduction and recycling efforts. We look forward to working with the Department of Culture, Recreation, and Tourism, the Festival Association, the Mardi Gras crews, and others to make waste management a higher priority when event organizers plan and budget for their events. In response to recommendation 4, advanced youth education, we are in the process of producing non-formal lessons for non-formal educators. So think of your Girl Scout leaders, your librarians, etc. We're also are going to be writing lesson plans that align with the science standards for our formal educators because we want this to be taught in our schools. So this year, Roxy the raccoon got some friends. So we have Timmy the turtle, we have Pete the pelican, and Allie the alligator. So together with her friends, Roxy will teach children the importance of not littering. So things such as our Love the Boot Week will become a thing of the past. Another initiative was we produced, in conjunction with the Louisiana Stormwater Coalition, we purchased and distributed Harry the Snakebird to 361 local libraries. This is a true story. It has a local author and illustrator. It's a beautiful hardback book, and it tells the story of a bird who got tangled up with litter and could not eat, and the story of children finding it, saving it, and then exploring why there was so much litter in Capitol Lakes. And so every library in the state of Louisiana has 2 copies, one that is cataloged that can be checked out, and a second one to be used by their librarians for summertime reading, story time, and youth programs. And then I want to mention our affiliate network. Our affiliate network actually touches on many of our recommendations: heightens awareness, education, beautification, litter removal. These are the folks that are boots on the ground making a difference in communities throughout Louisiana. Our affiliate network continues to grow, and this year we are happy to bring on Algiers, the City of Baker, the City of Pineville, and the French Quarter Management District. Our university affiliates, these are affiliates housed on campus of universities in Louisiana. This year we've expanded to bring on Northwestern University, the University of Monroe, and Loyola University, a total of 10 universities, making this program the largest of its kind in the country. We support these local communities and these university campuses because we know that change happens at the local level. We provide training and grants and programs and resources and tools so that they can have a greater impact. And then, in response to recommendation 1, establishing the fundamentals to sustain litter prevention and beautification efforts. Keep Louisiana Beautiful is leading the first comprehensive litter study since 2009. It is a 4-part study that looks at roadside litter, cost of litter. It includes a public perception survey, and then the best practices for interstate litter removal. The comprehensive report won't be finalized until later in May, and at that time it will be published in one document and made available to you as well as to the public.
At Blue Cross, our mission is to improve the health and lives of Louisianians. One important way we do that is by making sure that families have a clean, easily accessible green space near them where they can exercise, relax, enjoy the outdoors. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and other leading health organizations have established a clear link between nearby green spaces and better well-being. It improves mental health, it improves exercise, it reduces screen time and indoor sedentary activity, and overall leads to a better quality of life. Love the Boot Week, which coincides with National Volunteer Week and Earth Week, is Louisiana's largest litter removal effort, and it's a great chance to get Louisianians to join together in a commitment to clean up our communities. So today I'm going to get to serve as your MC, and it will be my honor to introduce a number of wonderful guests who are going to speak to you more about what's going on today and this week. So now I'd like to invite up Courtney Hornsby, a Keep Louisiana Beautiful board member and chief of staff for the city of West Monroe, to share her passion for Love the Boot Week. Courtney?
Thank you, Michael. And actually, Blue Cross Blue Shield has helped create some of those green spaces in our West Monroe community, so we appreciate that. It is certainly an honor to be here. We've been here for a little while this morning, learning some of the great things that are happening across the state with Love the Boot Week and Keep Louisiana Beautiful. And I just want to say a special thank you to Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser and Governor John Bell Edwards, who was here a little earlier. And I think I've been on this board now for about 10 years, Susan. That sounds about right, about 10 years. And before that, I was an affiliate director in the city of Natchitoches, and we've never had as much state support for the efforts that we're doing as we have right now. And I tell you, it makes a tremendous difference. And as a board member, I can see that. So thank you, first and foremost, for that. But on behalf of the board, and I serve as the chairman currently of Keep Louisiana Beautiful and the Keep Louisiana Beautiful staff, we want to thank all of you for being here today to help us kick off Love the Boot Week. As I said earlier, I've been on the board now for about 10 years, and I'm proud to support the mission of Keep Louisiana Beautiful on a state level and certainly on a local level as we work in Northeast Louisiana to promote these initiatives as part of Ouachita Green and Keep West Monroe Beautiful. Since I first joined the board, I've witnessed the organization grow and flourish to better serve our state. And in addition to Love the Boot Week, some of our recent accomplishments include, and I'm proud to bring you this information today, Keep Louisiana Beautiful has brought on 4 new community affiliates: Algiers, Baker, the French Quarter of New Orleans, and Pineville. This brings our total to 44 community affiliates across Louisiana. Yes. And we're always looking for more, that are focused on litter prevention, recycling, waste reduction, beautification, and environmental education. And I think I can speak on the staff's goals. We want an affiliate, at least a presence in each of our parishes in all corners of Louisiana. Joining our university affiliate network this year are Loyola University, New Orleans, University of Louisiana Monroe, and Northwestern State University. With 10 universities on board, KLB's University Affiliate Network is the largest and strongest program of its kind in the country, and I think that's worth applause as well. This year, Keep Louisiana Beautiful has supported local communities by awarding over $800,000 in Healthy Communities grants, trash receptacle grants, beautification grants, cleanup supplies, and program grants. I'm proud of how far Keep Louisiana Beautiful has come, and I'm inspired by the turnout today, but we all know that we have a long way to go to clean up our beloved state. We know that progress is being made, and Love the Boot Week is just an example of our progress. Before I move on from today's comments, I want to offer a special thank you to our staff, to Susan Russell and our team, the Keep Louisiana Beautiful staff, and our board of directors. It has been a positive that we have so much state support with additional monies, but that also means there's a challenge. How do we take these initiatives from our task force and put these monies to good use and implement all of the new programs that I've talked about today? So can you please help me in thanking the staff and our volunteer board of directors for their commitment to Louisiana and the work they're doing.
Before we get into our cleanups, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our litter study that we have just finished, 2 of the 4 pieces. But I want to take a minute to just say how incredibly happy I am to see this room full. It's good to see so many friends and so many familiar faces, but I'm also inspired by how many new faces are in the room today. Just goes to show how we have increased and continue to increase our reach, and it's really becoming a movement. We're thrilled to be able to roll out Love the Boot Week in communities throughout Louisiana. And you know, my communications director, Melissa Kenya, several months ago said, you know what, we're going to have 500 cleanups. Thought she was a little ambitious, maybe a little crazy. Keep in mind, this is our 2nd year, and last year we had 280 events, and we were blown away, right? Well, guess what, folks? Melissa was right, and we have 500 events this year. I want to thank our many partners for helping make Melissa's dream a reality. So those folks that have invested in this event and invested in our mission. I want to thank the Lieutenant Governor's Office, Blue Cross Blue Shield. You know, Blue Cross and Blue Shield, they're not just, it's not just about a check that they sent us in the mail. In fact, Dawn and I have been working on this event. Dawn, it seems like forever, right? Dawn got her staff involved, and many years ago, before COVID, their marketing team, their communications team helped us come up with this concept, and they've given in kind of their time and their talents and really provided guidance and leadership. And so it's kind of like giving birth in a way, huh, Dawn? Thank you. Lamar Advertising, Coca-Cola Company, Cox, Louisiana Seafood and Promotion Board, the Crawfish app, Alexandria Pineville Convention, and thank you, Melissa, and Visitors Bureau, Louisiana Restaurant Association, Texas Brine Company, and Winn-Dixie. I forgot I was supposed to do that, so thanks for having my back. I also want to thank our board of directors. Many are here today. Thank you for your continued support and leadership. And then I want to thank our staff. So we are a small but mighty team. Campbell Mouton, Melissa Kenyon, Patty Farrell, and Jane Windhorst. These are some of the most intelligent and hardest working women that I know, and it's an honor to be working with them every day. And then I'd like to thank the Lieutenant Governor and his entire team. What you see here is real. It's not just a photo op. The Lieutenant Governor and his team, Julie and Rick and Nancy and Jamie and Jasmine and Amy and Veronica and Bill and Barry and so many more, they work with us hand in hand, not every once in a while, but on a regular basis. And that is the truth. This is a successful partnership. This event is important because litter is a problem in Louisiana, and we have one of the worst in the country. Addressing it takes us all working together. Significantly reducing litter behavior is critical to preventing litter in the first place, so that one day we won't need events like Love the Boot Week. So one of the things that we are embarking on this year for the first comprehensive litter study since 2009. I don't have much time. I'm going to go through this real quickly. And so it is a 4-part study: a roadside litter survey, a public attitude survey, a cost of litter survey, and the best practices to interstate litter removal. The first 2 have been completed, and we have a summary provided. And if you would like to pick up a copy, there's some at the table on your way out. We have worked with Dr. Cecile Carson. Many of y'all remember Cecile, Tetra Tech, Steve Stein, Ron Viscro, and some field crew to conduct this. When we are finished with all 4 parts, which we anticipate will be later in May, we will produce the report in full and make it public and available to everyone. So I'm going to go through this quickly, as I mentioned. So all the dots represent all the sites. We worked with DOTD to identify 137 sites where we had field crew literally walking and examining the litter by category, by item, by material, and by brand. What it showed is that we have approximately 143.8 million pieces of litter on our roadways. And interstates are more littered than U.S. roadways and state roadways. By category, tobacco products lead at 24.5%, and that includes cigarette butts and the packaging and cigars and lighters and all of it together. Beverage containers at 13.7%, and construction debris at 10%. And as Cecile mentioned, that is, I think, higher than some states, and perhaps because we've dealt with a lot of hurricanes and tornadoes and flooding in recent times. By material, plastics overwhelmingly, more than any other material at 43.1%. So when we look at the item types, the types of items, when we look at aggregate litter, so that is the combination of micro litter, which we define as 4 inches smaller, or visible litter, which is 4 inches or larger. So we have tobacco, plastic cups, a lot of plastic, right? Plastic fast food, plastic home items, etc. And then when we look at visible litter, again, those larger items, water bottles, beer cans, cup lids, snack wrappers, tire and rubber debris, soft drink cans, those all lead the list. And when you pick up your copy, if you scroll to the back of it, you will see a comprehensive list of all of the items by item, by category, and material. So when we look at just the plastics, because that is just such a high percentage, right? There are over 61.9 million pieces of plastics along our roadway. 16% comes from cups and lids, 15% from beverage containers and caps, and 11% polystyrene. The most common littered brands Top 3 are beer. Does that tell us something? So we have Budweiser, Busch, and Miller Lite rounding up the top 3. So as mentioned, we work with DOTD and broke up the sites by district. And so when we compare all of the districts across our state, they are all very comparable. But District 4 up in northwest Louisiana, that's the Shreveport-Bois-Jacado area, was slightly more littered than all the other districts. Sources of roadway litter, 53.2 can be attributed to motorists, 17% to unsecured loads, and garbage trucks at 9.3%. Then let's move to the public attitude survey. So we had 43 questions that we came up. This was an email survey. There were 537 respondents with a plus and minus 4% margin of error. So some of the key findings, 92% believe strongly that litter is a problem. 94% acknowledge that litter contributes to flooding. 92% acknowledge that it negatively impacts tourism, and 88% thinks that it decreases business revenue. So when we ask why people litter, the most common was that it's more convenient than to dispose of properly. 28% was because they were too lazy. 18, lack of pride. 11, they didn't understand that it was harmful to animals or the environment. 10%, no trash cans nearby. And 4% did not know that it was illegal. 67% of people polled indicated that they support more litter enforcement. And then it's interesting to note that those people who don't support litter enforcement, they think it's because it won't change littering behaviors, that officers should be spending their time on more serious issues, and it's not a good use of public funds. When we looked at outdoor events and asked people when they attend festivals and parades and outdoor concerts, why do most people litter? And overwhelmingly, it had to do with trash cans. Either there wasn't enough trash cans, the trash cans weren't placed properly, or the trash cans were overflowing. And then finally, we asked if you would support a fee to fund local litter abatement. And overwhelmingly, 68% responded that they would be in favor of a fee between 50 cents and $2. So that is a summary. But like I said, feel free to grab one on your way out. What this will do, folks, is this will really help us in, well, first of all, the roadside, it creates a baseline that we can now measure our success from. And then some of these other pieces of these little nuggets of information really will help us and guide us in our programming and in our initiatives so that we can be more successful in ending the litter problem. And I'll give you an example. Cecile mentioned that our state has had more small pieces of polystyrene from ice chests than they had seen in other states. And we can contribute that to probably an ice chest flying out of a boat or the back of a truck unsecured. She also found a large number of the plastic bags that ice are kept in. Again, probably coming from the back of a truck or a boat. This is an opportunity for us to work with wildlife and fisheries and other sportsmen and outdoor outfitters to target those who are fishing and hunting, to ask them to secure their ice chests, secure their loads better. So that's just one example of how this kind of information will help and guide us in the future.
We completed a roadway litter survey and a public attitude survey, 2 of 4 pieces, the other 2 continuing on. The roadway litter program, through that actually going out and sampling roadway segments of interstates, U.S. roadways, and state routes, we found 143.8 million pieces of litter along the roadways in the state of Louisiana. The largest percentage of those materials are plastic pieces by material type, and we found plastic bottles at over 80% of the sites that we surveyed. But the number one overall item is something you don't see when you drive down the roads, and that's our tobacco-related materials, so we call micro litter under 4 inches. So we found more of that than we found anything else. And then in the public attitude survey, what we found was really a strong interest on the part of the residents of Louisiana about litter being a problem, and that it negatively impacts tourism, and that it has an impact on businesses. But we also found very high levels of reported self-littering, that 69% of those that we surveyed said they had littered, and we looked at asking them also as like, how frequently do you see someone else littering? And the top 2 responses was that they see someone at least a few times a month litter.
As a result of your survey and your information, what's your recommendation for people in Louisiana?
Number one is to think before you toss. We found a lot of the litter on the side of the road came from motorists, but we also say secure it before you go, because another large percentage of it came out of the back of trucks.
For more than a century, Coca-Cola has proudly operated in Louisiana and supported civic and charitable organizations across the state who have positively impacted the lives of our citizens. From 2014 to 2017, Coca-Cola United grew close to 4 times in size. From fewer than 3,000 associates to an organization of almost 10,000 associates serving 150,000 customers. While the Coca-Cola system has been operating in parts of Louisiana since 1902, in 2017, Coca-Cola United was able to complete acquisitions across the state that put them in a position to be the local bottler for almost all of Louisiana.
The secret to our success in Louisiana is definitely our associates. And what my hope is that we have a place not only people want to come work, but also they want to retire from. And it is not uncommon to come across associates that have 20, 30, even 40 years of service. And that just makes us a great place to work.
With 7 facilities across the state, from the Bayou to Bossier City, United is active in the local communities we serve. The Coca-Cola system is honored to support Louisiana's Love the Boot Week. Our team is proud to take part in Louisiana's largest statewide litter removal and beautification effort as we create a cleaner Louisiana for future generations.
Well, first of all, sustainability is so important that it's one of our key corporate objectives. And through that, we really are looking to be a leader in sustainability in the beverage industry. So we don't want to just lead in the Coke system, we want to lead across our industry. The Osprey Initiative created a device called the Litter Getter, and that device has a cage on it so it'll capture any sort of litter. It can be paper, plastic wrapping, bottles, cans, so many things that end up in our rivers and streams, and they sort out the bottles and cans, and they'll take those to be recycled back into new bottles and cans.
Sustainability is at the core of our efforts at Coca-Cola as we work to reduce waste, increase recycling, and protect and preserve the natural beauty of Louisiana.
As far as our purpose for engaging with Keep Louisiana Beautiful and Clean the Boot Week, there's obviously a huge opportunity around litter and educating the public on the opportunities we have there, but also us as a Coca-Cola system are creating more sustainable packaging and really building sustainable recycling programs in these communities is critical. And then how do we educate what is recyclable, the sorting, the pickup process, and then turning those back into the beverage packages that we intend them to be.
Blue Cross is proud to be a supporter of things throughout the state of Louisiana. Our mission is to improve the health and the lives of the people of Louisiana. Certainly the environment in which we live in is part of what makes Louisiana great. But we also know that there's litter, there's challenges. And so when Keep Louisiana Beautiful approached us about the idea of bringing volunteers from across the state to ultimately keep Louisiana beautiful, to clean up our state in 1 week, we were proud to be a supporter of that and are glad to be here at today's kickoff event. Getting out in your community, picking up litter, engaging with your neighbors is good for your health physically. It's also good for your environment and makes you more likely to get out and be physically active in that neighborhood park or walking around your neighborhood over the long run. And we think those are powerful things for somebody's health directly and for the health of our communities and the vibrancy of our communities over the long run. Blue Cross, our colleagues at Vantage, and so many other organizations throughout the state have always been active volunteers. Keep Louisiana Beautiful has a number of our senior team members who serve on the board, who are active community projects. And part of what we love about Keep Louisiana Beautiful and Love the Boot Week is it is statewide. And so our employees in Shreveport and Monroe, our colleagues here in Baton Rouge and New Orleans, and everywhere throughout the state have an opportunity to engage in their local communities, to volunteer, to clean up, and to ultimately help make this community even better than it already is.
We have a contraption that actually is intercepting most of the waste that was coming into Capitol Lake because it flows down with the drainage system. And every time there's a heavy rain, you have debris, litter, so forth that's in the ditches that ends up in Capitol Lake. Well, there's a device now to try to capture that before it actually enters the lake, and then you just have to go and empty that device. And it's making a really big difference. There's not nearly as much litter there now as there used to be, but there's still enough to where we're going to have an organized effort this week to go and clean up Capitol Lake again. And I'm encouraging people to take control of their neighborhoods. Take control of the street where you live, the street where your business is, and pick up that litter on a recurring basis so that we can have the Louisiana that we all want to have.
I'm encouraged. You know, the legislators, the governor, the local parish presidents, council members around the state, leaders against litter. When you see your leaders out there making a difference, doing the work themselves, it kind of has a trickle-down effect, and we've seen that all across Louisiana, from organizations to universities to everyone getting involved. And I think this will continue to grow until one day we won't have to spend millions of dollars cleaning up our state.
You know, I think we have a movement. The tide is turning, for sure. Now, we have a long way to go, but we are making incredible strides. And I've been doing this for a long time, and so I can tell you that what we're seeing now from our top leadership with our governor, our lieutenant governor, with our local governments, especially our business community, our individuals, there's more engagement than ever. It is really becoming more of a movement.
How can people get more information?
Go to keeplouisianabeautiful.org. We need all the help we can get.